Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a beginner bar workout for you. So all you're going to need is a mat and a chair. Place your left hand onto the back of the chair and start by standing in your first position. You're going to lift your arm up into fifth, out into second and all the way down into first. So basically you're just going to lift your arm up and circle it around. Inhale and exhale as you do so. We're now going to add a little bend. So as you reach your arm up into fifth, you're going to plie and bend the knees, keeping up nice and tall, drawing the tummy in. Lovely. And now you're going to add a rise. So rising up onto your toes as you lift your arm up and lower down softly with control as you lower the arm down. Again, keep breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, and then you're going to hold it up here, find your balance, looking good, and then slowly come all the way down, hand onto your hip. You're going to start to kick that leg forward, out to the side, and then kick it back, out to the side, and then come forward. So you're in that turned out position, you're in your first position here, and you start the kicks from there. So as you kick out to the side, make sure that the leg is turned out, pointing the toes, keep that leg really straight. Good, standing up nice and tall, relaxing the shoulders, lengthen through the crown of the head. The leg doesn't have to come up too high, just make sure it's nice and straight and you're not twisting your hips. Lovely, we're going to now plie and rise up. So bend the knees and then rise onto the demi point. So rising up and just lower. Again, keeping that tummy held nice and tight, just gently rest your hand on the back of the chair and then keep up onto your toes, pulse it here. So squeeze the bottom, open the knees and pulse it here. And then slowly lower down. Turn your toes in so that they're parallel, and you're going to lift that leg now. So lift and point it down, lift and point it down. So the legs are parallel now, so you're not turning out to your hip. You're squeezing into the side of the bottom, keeping up nice and straight. Keep the supporting legs strong, lifting up through the crown of the head. Keep it pumping, and then hold it here. You're going to flex and point foot while trying to keep it as high as you can. Start to feel the burn here. Keep breathing, keep lifting it as high as you can, flexing and pointing. Doing really well, keep it going. And then lift and lower down. Rising on up, squeeze the knees together. You're going to ripple down, bend up nice and high on your toes, and then send the heels down to your mat. So lift, bend the knees, and then lower the heels down and straighten the legs. And then you're going to pulse it here. So lifting up nice and high, take the arm up above the head, squeeze and pulse, knees are together, keep it going. And then rise and lower. Lovely. Just give yourself a wiggle, shake out those legs, turn towards the chair, and you're going to rise up and lower, lift and lower. So the feet are together, both hands are on the back of the chair, and just simply lift and lower down. So we're getting the calves pumping. And then we're going to lift alternate heels. So a little pony trot here. Good, keeping up nice and tall, keep the tummy held in, and then rising up. You're going to extend that left leg, tilt forward a little bit and replace it back. Again, over to the other side, lift and lower. So point the toes, you're staying up onto the rise. If it's too much onto the rise, then do lower your heels down. Squeeze into your bottom, tilt over the back of the chair slightly, and keep your back nice and straight. And then lower the right leg, bend that knee And then bend that left knee, send the heel up towards the ceiling and start to pulse here. Keep your hips square to your chair, keep the chest open, squeeze into your bottom, really squeeze it. Make sure that supporting knee is bent. And then lengthen all the way down to the floor and then bend the knee and pulse once. So lengthen and pulse once. Point the toes, pulsing up, extend, bend and pulse. Keeping that knee nice and bent on your supporting leg. And then come back up, have a little wiggle here, rising on up, ready to go to the other side. Bend the left knee this time and then bend the right, send the heel up to the ceiling, flex that foot and start pulsing and squeezing into the bottom. Again, just check that your hips are nice and square, your chest is open, your tummy is pulled in, and that left knee is nice and soft so you can really feel it in the bum on both sides. Keep it going. And then extend, point the toes and pulse up. So exactly the same on this side, extend down, bend the knee, and then pulse and squeeze up into that glute. Good, doing really well. And then come all the way up and just shake off. You're going to step back so that you've got a bit of space between you and the chair. Fingertips onto the back of the chair and just stretch down so you've got a nice flat back. You're going to bend the knees and then rise up. Really keep your tummy pulled in all the time here. So bend the knees and then rise. Good, so make sure you've got that nice space so you can have a bit of a stretch as well. Really squeezing in here. Lovely. And then gently just fall forward into your forward fold position. Shake the knees. Release everything and slowly roll up bone by bone up into standing. Good. You're going to just switch over to the other side now and then stand in your first position, send that arm up to the ceiling and circle it around. So all the way up into fifth and then circle all the way around and down. So it's going to be slightly different on this side, so just keep an eye on what I do. And then start to bend the knees as the arm lifts and straighten the legs as the arm lowers. Lovely. So standing up nice and tall, the tummy is held in, lifting the arm and circling it around. And then straighten the legs, lift up onto your rise, and you're going to plie here. So bending the knees and then straighten. Squeezing the bottom, keep the arm up nice and high. You're high onto your toes. Gently resting that hand down, take the arm out to second as you bend and lift. So as you bend the knees, the arm comes down and lift. Lovely. Keep it going. And then squeeze the legs together. From here, you're going to squeeze the knees and pulse them out and back. So really wrap the bottom, squeeze the knees back, really squeezing that bottom. And then lengthen, the arm comes down to the hip. Again on this side, you're going to kick that leg forward, out to the side and back. Out to the side and forward again. So you're in this turned out position here, pointing the toes, keep the legs straight. It doesn't have to come too high. Lovely. Drawing the tummy in, lift that leg. Good, keep it going. Doing really well. And and then turn the toes in so they're parallel, and again we're rising up, bending the knees nice and high, and then rolling down through the feet. Send the heels down to your mat and straighten the legs, really getting into the feet, squeezing the bottom, keep the back up nice and straight. Gently rest that hand on the back of the chair. You're lifting, bending the knees, pushing those heels down. And then parallel, send that leg out to the side. You're going to lift and lower. So just tap the toes down to the mat and then squeeze into that side bum as you lift, keeping your hips square to me. Really working that side bum. Holding it here now, and you're going to flex and point the foot. So standing strong into that supporting leg, flex and point, flex and point. Try and keep it up as high as you can. Working really hard here. Keep it going. And then lower down, give your legs a little bit of a wiggle, rolling those shoulders. And then come and you're going to twizzle the chair around. Come and lie down onto your back. Your legs are going to be on the chair like so. Arms up to the ceiling, and you're going to open them down to the floor and then lengthen them up. So inhale them on the way down and exhale to draw them up to the ceiling. Make sure they're nice and long, energy through the fingertips. And then you're going to come into your curl up. So inhale to prepare, exhale, nod the chin to the chest, curling on up, sending your arms down, and then exhale to come back. So holding up here, inhale at the top and then exhale to come down. Lovely. Keeping the legs soft on the chair. And then you're going to extend one leg as you come up, and then extend the other leg as you come up. So we're just adding a leg extension here. Alternate sides, pointing the toes, and then coming up into your curl up. We're going to do little pulses here. So really reach the fingers past the legs, drawing the tummy in. Pelvis in neutral, hold it here for a moment, and then come all the way back down. Lovely. Just shuffle so that your heels are on the edge of your chair, and you're going to come up into a bridge and then slowly roll down bone by bone all the way down. So exactly like your feet is on the floor, but you're going to squeeze the bottom, tilt the pelvis, rolling up through the spine, squeeze at the top, and then soften the breastbone and roll all the way down back onto your mat. So nice and slow and controlled. If you need to shuffle around with your feet to get a good grip, that's absolutely fine. Keep it going, keep squeezing at the top. We're going to hold it here and then lower it all the way down. Again, scooping up, using the tummy, using your breath. Arms coming up to the ceiling, and we're going to squeeze the bottom, lift the hips and pulse here. Squeeze and lift and pulse. Good. And then slowly coming all the way down. So carefully come up into sitting, take your legs down, shuffle the chair so that it's out of the way, and pop your mat down. You're going to prop yourselves up onto your elbows like so, bending the knees. Bend your right knee in towards your chest, extend it all the way down to the floor, bend it in and place it back down over to the other side. So bend in, extend, bend in and place down. Good. So I really want you to push up and away from your mat, lifting the chest, drawing the tummy in as you bend and extend each leg, pointing the toes, nice straight legs as you get that extension. Keep lifting up, and now you're going to squeeze the legs together, extend both legs up to the ceiling, pointing the toes and place them back down. So it's a little tap with the toes onto your mat and extend into the air. Again, keep lifting that chest, it's so great for your posture. Drawing the tummy in. 4, 3, 2, last one, and then just extend both legs, lower them down, take a moment here, pushing on up into sitting, bend the knees, feet hip width apart, and you're going to send your hips up towards the ceiling, squeezing the bottom and lower them down. So you're lifting your hips to a reverse tabletop position and lowering down with control. So if you need to shuffle your hands and feet around to get a good position, then do. And then just come up into sitting, have a little release, swivel the legs around, carefully come up into standing, take a nice wide position, feet are turned out, arms are out to the side, and you're going to side bend over, taking that arm overhead, and then come back to the center and rise up. The arms will come up and then over to the other side, get that nice stretch, use your tummy, back to center, rise as the arms come into fifth. So coming over and rise, lower, over, get a stretch using your tummy, using those obliques. Rise on up and lower. Good, keep it going. And then just heel toe the feet in to about hip width apart. Roll the shoulders as you rise. And then take your arms up to fifth, open them out to the side, nod the chin to the chest. You're coming into your roll downs all the way down to the floor. Bend the knees, straighten the legs, and then bone by bone rolling all the way up, and the arms will come overhead. So taking the arms out to the side, nod the chin to the chest, rolling all the way down, bending, straightening, and scooping on up with the arms. Good, so keeping that nice lift as you roll down. And then scooping on up as the arms come all the way up. Lovely. Bending the knees here, and then rolling on up into standing. Take your feet slightly wider, look up to your fingertips as you lift them up into the air, and then come into one last roll down. Take hold of one ankle and then send the arm up to the ceiling, look up to the fingertips, have a stretch, and then place it back down over to the other side. Grab hold of the opposite ankle, lifting that arm, twisting here, looking to the fingertips, and then coming all the way back down to center. Bend the knees, scooping on up, have a little wriggle, give yourselves a clap. Thank you so much for joining me this week, and I'll see you again soon.